Hey, it's Sam here, and this is the Royal Kludge L75. It's a unique 75% wireless keyboard priced around $70. In this video, I have the mocha brown color variant paired with the tactile beige switch. For the stuff included in the box, there's the user manual, a Type-A to Type-C cable, a switch and keycap puller, 4 extra switches with a plastic pry tool, a hard plastic dust cover, and the L75 keyboard, which is mostly plastic and weighs around 970 grams or 2.1 pounds. So for the design and layout, the keyboard has a more interesting 75% layout with a Royal Kludge touchpad on the top right corner, 3 indicator lights next to the arrow keys, a metal volume knob on the top left, and 5 programmable macro keys on the left as well. The side profile looks like this with the cherry profile keycaps and a slight slope at the front, and the typing angle can also be increased with the feet on the bottom. On the front, there's surprisingly no Royal Kludge logo here, and on the back, there's the magnetic slot for the 2.4 GHz receiver on the right, and the tri-mode toggle switch, the USB pass-through, and the Type-C connection port on the left. On the bottom, there is 4 rubber feet, the 2 height adjustable feet previously mentioned, and the keyboard product information in the middle. Carrying on to the specs and features, the keyboard has an 8000 mAh battery for up to 200 hours of usage with the RGB off, full N key rollover for smooth gaming and typing, 1000 Hz polling rate in wired mode for low latency inputs, cherry profile double shot PBT keycaps with a matte textured finish, Royal Kludge tactile beige switches that are lightly looped from the factory, plate-mounted stabilizers that are lightly looped as well to reduce rattle and pinging with foam dampeners at the spacebar, a flex-cut polycarbonate plate for a bouncy typing experience, a gasket-mounted south-facing PCB that is 5-pin hot swap, and per key RGB with 16 vibrant effects to choose from already preloaded onto the keyboard. Moving on to the software, the keyboard is compatible with the Royal Kludge keyboard driver and the Royal Kludge web-based driver. Both allow you to set different profiles, remap all of the keys, layers, and functions including the macros and the touchpad, create and import macros, configure the RGB effects, brightness, speed, sleep timer, and color, create your own custom RGB effects, and update the firmware and software here as well. Now diving into the teardown and disassembly. The case is held together with clips and you'll need a pry tool to get it apart. The clips are on the bottom and the sides and the upper top part of the case. Once all of the clips are open, the PCB and top case can be lifted and the ribbon cable connecting to the daughterboard can be disconnected, followed by the cable for the volume knob. As for the plate and PCB, there are 6 screws holding the parts together on the bottom. With the screws removed, the plate and PCB can be taken apart and everything is now fully disassembled. Okay, here are all of the mods and components in the Royal Kludge L75. In the bottom case, there's a piece of case foam and a thick piece of silicone allowing the keyboard to sound fuller, the 8000 mAh battery in the middle which connects to the daughterboard that has the tri-mode switch and USB pass-through, and the magnetic slot for the wireless receiver here. In the top case, there's the rotary knob mounted on the top left corner with 3 screws, and the Royal Kludge touchpad on the top right corner with a hole for the spring on the PCB to fit into. Speaking of the PCB, it looks like this with the 5 macro keys on the left, the 3 indicator lights at the arrow keys, the cable for the knob at the back with jersey hot swap sockets, and the silicone gaskets on the sides that mount to the case. As for the polycarbonate plate, it's very flexible because of the flex cuts, and this is how it looks with the switches and keycaps. For the mods, there's a PET insulation sheet, an IXPE switch pad, and a Poron plate foam all stacked between the plate and PCB. This combination of mods gives the keyboard a distinct clacky sound. With all of the things covered, here is the typing sound test. Please enjoy. Alright, here are my final thoughts on the Royal Kludge L75. Honestly, I really like what Royal Kludge has done by adding 5 macro keys and a knob on the left. This adds a lot more functionality to the keyboard without taking up too much space. The USB pass-through is a nice addition too, and the overall design and color choices come together really well. The only thing I don't really like is the Royal Kludge touchpad. From my experience, it only works sometimes and it's hard to figure out how to actually set and use it. Maybe replacing it with a screen or additional macros would be a better choice. But with all of that said, for just $70, this keyboard offers amazing value. So if you're interested in the Royal Kludge L75, it will be linked in the description below for you, and that does it for this video. Thanks to Royal Kludge for the keyboard, and thank you for watching. Leave a like on the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't, and remember to subscribe if you haven't. See you in the next one.